Welcome, dear devotees. We are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, chapter number 19, Appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. With our discussion here, until now, Parikshit Maharaj is preparing for fasting till date. He is sitting on the bank of the transcendental river. The sages have assembled. But as the title of the chapter suggests, the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami, we haven't reached up to that stage yet in the past time. अभी आया नहीं है, but जल्दी ही Sukadeva Goswami will be appearing. We are starting our today's discussion from text number 21. Someone wants to read? Start. Or I can read Sanskrit. And who wants to read? Let's see. Don't see. Satish Prabhu, you can read English translation. Sarve vayam tavadihasmahe tha kalevaram yavadasau vihaya lokam param virajaskam visokam yasyati ayam bhagavata pradana.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna devotees, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. We shall all wait here until the foremost devotee of the Lord, Maharaj Parikshit, returns to the supreme planet, which is completely free from all mundane contamination and all kinds of lamentation. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. We shall all wait here until the foremost devotee of the Lord, Maharaj Parikshit, returns to the supreme planet. Who is speaking this verse? We shall all wait here. Kaun bol raha hai ye? Let's see who remembers where we are in the past time.
Is it the sages?
That's right. Yes, the sages who have assembled on the bank of the river. We saw yesterday the continuation of the sages were speaking that it is not at all astonishing that you have decided to give up everything. वो परीक्षित महाराज को बोलते हैं that you have decided because you come from the great Pandava dynasty and you have decided, you have made this decision to fast till date. Why? To achieve the eternal association of the Lord, which is the highest goal. We saw that yesterday. So here, when the sages comes, when the king Parikshit Maharaj decided, when he heard about the news, he decided to give up everything and fast till death. He was sitting, the news spread all around the universe. All the sages, all the learned scholars, they came from all around the world and all around the universe as well. Different demigods, everyone came. And Parikshit Maharaj, bowing down his head, folding his hands, welcome everyone, present his idea, his opinion about how he has made the decision. Everyone confirms that decision, and then he sits to fast till death. And then this verse comes where the great sages, ऐसा नहीं है कि आके नमस्कार करके चले गए, दर्शन करके चले गए. They also decided, all the sages, they decided they will also stay there till the last day. Here, Parikshit Maharaj is going to return to the supreme planet. So Prabhupada explains in the purport, there are many planets in the spiritual sky, like Ayodhya Loka or Dwarka Loka, Purushottam Loka, Achyuta Loka, Trivikrama Loka, Rishikesh Loka, the planet Keshav Loka. There are so many. Just like in this material universe, there are so many planets or the planetary systems. In the same way, in the spiritual world, there are so many planets, and all these different the forms of supreme personality of Godhead resides. Like Ayodhya Loka, Lord Ram resides. Dwarka Loka, Krishna resides in his opulence form. In the same way, there are many different planets in the spiritual world. But here it is said, Parikshit Maharaj was about to reach to the supreme planet. The topmost is Goloka Vrindavan. So here it is mentioned by Prabhupada, or in the translation, that the Parikshit Maharaj was going to reach to the topmost planet. And so the sages decided to stay there to have darshan, association of Parikshit Maharaj until the last day. to have his association until the last moment. Prabhupada makes few points in the purport here. When a great devotee of Lord passes away, there is nothing to be lamented. Why? Because the devotee is going back to Godhead, going back to Krishna, to the spiritual world he is going. So there is nothing to be lamented about. And that's why we see in our Vaishnava calendar, in the temple, we celebrate Vaishnava's disappearance day, like Prabhupada disappearance day, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur disappearance day. We celebrate, they do big, roaring, loud kirtan, they do feast with heaps of prasadam. Why? Because it's the death of a devotee is very different than the death of a normal person in the material world. What happens with the devotees, Vaishnava Acharya's life is they finish their transcendental leela or pastime in this world and they go back to Krishna. So there is no sorrow, there is no sorry plight. Prabhupada uses the word. But in terms of a normal people, the death is just the end of this body and soul goes to the different body. So here Prabhupada writes, when a great devotee of the Lord passes away, there is nothing to be lamented about because the devotee is going back to the kingdom of the God. And the sages knew here that Parikshit Maharaj is going to the Supreme Lord, back to Godhead, and to have his association, they decided to stay there. So Prabhupada writes, the sorry plight is that हमको अगर कुछ lamentation है तो वो क्या है? That the devotees will be, the pure devotees leaving our sight, अपनी नजरों से दूर हो रहा है, because we will not be able to have association of that pure devotee anymore. And that's why a devotee can be sorry when pure devotee of the Lord is passing away. And there is, Prabhupada writes, there is every reason to be sorry about. पहले बोलता है, there is no need to lament because devotee is going back to the kingdom of God. And then he says, every reason to be sorry because we will not be able to have association of that devotee. Very beautiful line Prabhupada writes in this purport. One, very nice. He says, as the Lord is rarely seen with our present eyes, as the Lord is rarely seen with our present eyes, so also are the great devotees of the Lord. भगवान बहुत मुश्किल से दिखते हैं. In the same way, pure devotees of the Lord also, it's very hard to find. It's rarely seen with our eyes. And that's why whenever like this chances come, opportunity comes to associate with pure devotees, one should grab the opportunity. So practical application, learning point from this text number 21 for us is we have to take opportunity of the association of pure devotees. It's very rare in this world. Whenever some situation comes that we have a chance to meet the pure devotee, to take the association of pure devotee, it's very rare. So we have to take this opportunity. Also here, another thing we see that all these sages, Parikshit Maharaj did not invite. Parikshit Maharaj ne sabko invitation deke, he did not organize a conference and send an invitation and told everyone to come. It was just his sincerity in the heart. He decided to fast till death. He decided to give up everything and he sat on the bank of the transcendental river and all the news spread and all the sages come. So it was his sincerity in the heart and that the great souls appeared there. So sincerity in the heart, the devotion attracts the pure devotees of the Lord. So that is another one. The sincerity in the heart, it will attract the pure devotees. Okay, so two learning points, very important. Association of pure devotees is very important to take the opportunity. Let's begin 22. Anirvin Prabhu.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम. हरे कृष्णा डियर डिवोटीज, दंडवत प्रणाम. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय. आश्रुत्य तत् ऋषिगण वचः परीक्षेत् समं मदुच्युत्कुरुचाव्यलीकम् आभाषतैनानभिनन्द्य युक्तान् शुश्रूषमाणश्च चरितानि विष्णुः.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. All that was spoken by the great sages was very sweet to hear, full of meaning and appropriately presented as perfectly true. So after hearing them, Maharaj Parikshit, desiring to hear of the activities of Lord Shri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, congratulated the great sages. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. All that was spoken by the great sages was very sweet to hear. It was very sweet to hear. जो sages बोलते थे, the approval and all the glories they were doing. It was very sweet to hear, full of meaning and appropriately presented. वो sages जो बोलते थे. Who is speaking these words? कौन बोलेगा? All that was spoken by the great sage was very sweet to hear. ये कौन बोल रहा है ये sentence?
Suta.
Yeah.
Suta में.
Yes, very good. Always stay. This is my style. Always stay. कौन बोल रहा है, किसको बोल रहा है, किस situation में बोल रहा है. ऐसा, if you keep this whole context in mind, ना, it will help you to get addicted to Bhagavatam. जैसे कभी वो addiction हो जाता है ना, उसके बिना जी नहीं सकते फिर. Some people have some intoxication habits. They can't live without that. In the same way, if you follow the flow of Bhagavatam, who is speaking to him, in what context, and what is the learning point, itna aapko pata chal jayega na, you will be addicted to Bhagavatam. You can't live. See, here Prabhupada doesn't write the purport, but let's try to understand what is happening. Everything that was the great sages were saying, they were very sweet. It was truthful and it was very sweet. Here, second line of the translation, it is mentioned, Maharaj Parikshit, desiring to hear of the activities of the Lord Sri Krishna, personality of Godhead, congratulated the sages. So Maharaj Parikshit had the desire to hear about the Lord's pastimes. So, and the sages came, sages assembled. So what happens? Learning point for us, practical application from this verse is, when a seeker becomes sincere, teacher soon appears. When a teacher becomes sincere, teacher soon appears. Parikshit Maharaj को desire था भगवान के बारे में, past times लीला, Lord Krishna के activities को सुनने का. तो all the great sages assembled, and we see how the title of the chapter, appearance of Sukdev Goswami, will also appear and speak. So he had that sincere desire in the heart, and he just said, and then Lord makes the arrangement of everything, the association of the devotees, the sages, Sukdev Goswami, teacher, everything. We have seen our life also, dear devotees. If you try to get information from the devotee's life, you will see that when there is a sincere seekingness, the eagerness in the heart, somehow Lord makes the arrangement for the association of devotees, for Guru to come in our life. वो अपने आप होता है. Krishna arranges. I was recently speaking to Ganesh Prabhu in Bendigo. Before even meeting the devotees, he had a Bhagavad Gita. Somehow Krishna arranged to have him a Bhagavad Gita. He read. I think he mentioned he read 2 times already before even joining the Bhakti Vriksha. And then what happens? The sincerity is in the heart. The seeking is in the heart. And then Krishna arranges to have association of devotees. And then he comes to Bhakti Vriksha and then progresses, meets the Guru, and then perfects the life. So many devotees, if you see, this is a common. When even Anirvin Prabhu, I know he was a great sincere seeker, looking around everywhere, and then भगवान आशीर्वाद देता है, क्या करता है, भक्तों का संग देता है, प्रभुपाद का गाइडेंस मिलता है, गुरु की मर्सी मिलती है, गुरु के शरण में जाते हैं, and the path of perfection is chalked out for a devotee. So this is same thing which is coming out from this verse also. Parikshit Maharaj had a desire to hear. He just said, and the sages came, Sukdev Goswami will appear. Very, very beautiful verse. 23. Chalo, Radhika Mataji.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Dandavata pranam to all. समागता सर्वता एव सर्वे वेदा यथा मूर्तिधरास्त्रिपृष्ठे नेहाथनमुद्रा चकर्षणार्था ऋते paranugrahamatmaशीलम्. Neha Mataji can read the translation.
The king said, O great sages, you have all very kindly assembled here, having come from all parts of the universe. You are all as good as supreme knowledge personified, who resides in the planet above the 3 worlds. Consequently, you are naturally inclined to do good to others, and but for this, you have no interest either in this life or in the next.
Thank you very much. So here, Parikshit Maharaj is speaking. So in the previous verse, the assembly in the Naimisharanya forest, Saunakadi rishis are sitting, and Sutta Goswami is telling that whatever the sages were speaking was very truth, very sweet, because Parikshit Maharaj also had the desire to hear more. So Sutta Goswami is mentioning. And now the scene is flicking to the bank of the transcendental river. Parikshit Maharaj sages ko bolte hain. So it's going different levels of discussion. Parikshit Maharaj sages jo baithe hai, and then above that is Sutta Goswami and Sanakadi Rishis. So we just stay in the scene, what is happening. So here the king said, "Oh great sages, you have all very kindly assembled here." King says to sages, "You have all very kindly assembled here from all part of the universe. You are as good as supreme knowledge personified. You are as good as supreme knowledge personified, who resides in the planet above the three worlds." Let's understand this one line. Prabhupada writes. Prabhupada explains beautifully in the purport. But as good as supreme knowledge personified. Uska matlab kya hai? Supreme knowledge personified means Vedas, supreme knowledge, 4 Vedas are there. Prabhupada writes there are 3 planetary systems. Upper planetary system, middle planetary system, and lower planetary system. Higher planetary system mein Brahmaloka, Satyaloka, all that. Middle planet, earthly planetary system, and niche क्या है? Hellish planet or Patala, Talatal, Sutala, all that lower planetary system. Now, Prabhupada writes, in these 3 planetary systems, the living beings in the higher planetary system, especially mentioned here, Satyaloka, jahan pe Brahma and his contemporaries, they live in the higher planetary system. Here it said Satyaloka. Wahan pe jo log rehte hain in Satyaloka, they know Vedas perfectly well. Unko Vedas in and out, everything they know. And they are the residents of Satyaloka. And those people, they are sometimes called as supreme knowledge personified. Personification of that supreme knowledge. Because जो वेदा को जानते हैं, इसलिए उनको बोलते हैं supreme knowledge personified. Just like, we see even some people call Srila Prabhupada as living Bhagavatam, because he knows Bhagavatam in and out. So he is a personified living Bhagavatam, क्योंकि वो उस सिद्धांत पे भागवतम में जो बताया गया है उस सिद्धांत पे he is living his life. So that's why Prabhupada is called living Bhagavatam. In the same way, the residents of Satyaloka, they know Vedas very well, all the injunctions of Vedas, scriptural, all 4 Vedas mein jo bataya gaya, and they are called personified of the supreme knowledge. So they are staying in the higher planetary systems. Now, abhi aap wo line read karo, second line. You are all as good as supreme knowledge personified, who are resides in the planet above the 3 worlds. So सत्य लोक में जो रहते हैं, you are as good as, क्या परीक्षित महाराज बोलते हैं, वो sages को बोलते हैं, you are as good as supreme knowledge पर. आप जो सत्य लोक में जो रहते हैं higher planetary system में, जो सब वेदास का knowledge जानते हैं, they are personified of that supreme knowledge. आप लोग ऐसे हो जो सब जानते हो, you all know all these things. So Parikshit Maharaj is glorifying like this. Now, what is the next line of the translation? Consequently, you are naturally inclined to do good to others, and you have no interest to stay here. So Prabhupada, he is explaining in the purport that you know everything. What is in the Vedas, scriptural injunctions, you are like a personified of knowledge. And Prabhupada is writing, then what are they doing here in this world? उनको यहाँ पे, yeah, we see Parikshit Maharaj was near to Hastinapur, somewhere sitting on the bank of the river. अगर वो लोग सब जानते हैं, तो why they are not in the spiritual world, or why they are not in the Satyaloka? How come they are in the earthly planetary system in this material world where this is a place of suffering and miseries? So Prabhupada is explaining that in the purport, that these great sages, they are equivalent to Satyaloka residents, and they know everything about the devotion and the Supreme Lord. They might be living in the spiritual world, but they are living in this earthly planet. Why? The last line of the translation. You have no interest either in this. उनको खुद कोई interest नहीं है. What is that? you are inclined to do good to others. You are, Prabhupada explains such a beautiful in the purport that these sages have no personal interest. They are staying in this material world only to guide people and to preach them about the glories of the Lord. और कुछ पर्सनल मोटिव नहीं है. दे आर हियर इन दिस वर्ल्ड. तो हमें ऐसा नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि जो सेजेस थे वो भी मटेरियल वर्ल्ड के सफरिंग सोल्स थे. दोज सेजेस हु हैव असेंबल्ड, दे आर नॉट मटेरियल वर्ल्ड पीपल. दे आर द वन हु कम्स from the spiritual world in this world, material planet, to guide devotees, to give them the spiritual knowledge, to preach the glories of Krishna, and they wind up their pastime and they go back to the Supreme Lord. So Prabhupada is explaining that they descend, Prabhupada must line like that, they descend on different planets as messiahs by the order of the Lord to deliver the fallen soul. भगवान के आदेश से वो आते हैं. And we see, how Prabhupada and many acharyas in our sampradaya, we shouldn't see them as the same on our level where they are a material person suffering in this. They descend by the order of the Lord to deliver the fallen souls, and then they wind up and then they go back to Krishna. So this Prabhupada explains in this purport all this. They have nothing to do in this world except to reclaim the fallen souls from this material existence. Reclaim करने के लिए ही आते हैं. And this is what, if you read the translation now, the king Parikshit Maharaj is saying all this to the sages. कि आप लोगों को सब पता है. You are like a resident of Satyaloka, but you are here only to naturally you are inclined to good to others, and that's why you have no personal interest, but you have come here to guide us, to preach the glories of Krishna. Getting the point? It's thoda deep technical. I am one by one line I am trying to understand, Prabhupada ke purport se ye kaisa. Otherwise, if you read, I can guarantee, if you read this translation na aapko, at least I can tell about myself, पता ही नहीं चलता क्या हुआ इधर, किंग ने क्या बोला. you are all as good as supreme knowledge personified. पता ही नहीं चलता. So I try to analyze one by one line, and then context Prabhupada mentions and then explains, and then if you read the translation again, wow, every single line makes sense. What is the king saying? Yeah, try that. मजा आएगा. You will become addicted to, if you are following whatever I try to explain the Prabhupada's purport. If you are following that, I can guarantee you will not be able to leave Bhagavad. आप रख नहीं सकोगे भागवत. Whenever free time comes, 10 minute comes, you will open. अरे ये क्या हो रहा है, अभी आगे क्या होगा, सुखदेव गोस्वामी कब आएंगे, महाराज परीक्षित ने सेजेस को क्या बोला, what is he trying to say, and what is the learning point for us. You will अब उस दुनिया में you will dive deeper in that ocean of Srimad Bhagavatam, and that is the transcendental bliss. उतना मजा आता है ना. Bhagavatam is just full of, it is said galitam phalam, the sweet fruit, nectarian fruit. Bhagavatam is galitam phalam, but Prabhupada के जो purports है ना, this is mind blowing, even sweeter than the sweetest. It is so mind blowing, Prabhupada purports. All right, let's go one more. 24. I don't know who was there. Puja Mataji, Vittalani Mataji, you want to try? And
Yes.
Pankaj Prabhu can do the English translation.
Hare Krishna. Text 24. Tatascha vapu pruchayamim vipruche vishrambhya vipra iti krutyatayam sarvatmanam riyamaneishcha krutyam shuddham cha tatra mushatabhiyuktaha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. O trustworthy Brahmans, I now ask you about my immediate duty. Please, after proper deliberation, tell me of the unalloyed duty of everyone in all circumstances, and specifically of those who are just about to die.
Wow, look at this. Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question to the sages. He is asking two questions. What is the duty of everyone in all circumstances? Parikshit Maharaj is asking, I now ask you about my immediate duty. after proper deliberation, आप बताओ मुझे, tell me of the unallowed duty of everyone in all circumstances. And second question, Parikshit Maharaj is asking specifically of those who are just about to die. So two questions. अब देखो Bhagavad Gita begins with the questions of Arjuna. He is asking to Krishna, Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava. What should I do? What is my duty? You tell me. Yashreyasha nishritan bruhitan me. You निश्चित रूप से मुझे बताओ मुझे करना क्या है. Arjuna is asking. Bhagavatam begins with the questions by the sages. To 6 questions. Remember we discussed when we started Bhagavatam. What is the ultimate good for everyone in general? What is the essence of all scriptures? Why did Krishna appear in the womb of Devaki? Describe Lord's Purusha avatar, describe Lord's Leela avatar, and where did religious principle took shelter after Krishna departed from this world? So Bhagavad Gita begins with question. Bhagavatam begins with question. And here also Parikshit Maharaj is asking the questions. Two questions, very importantly. What is the duty of everyone in all circumstances? सबके लिए, in all circumstances, what is the duty of everyone? And second, what is the duty of a dying man, a person who is about to die? Why is asking? Because he has been he has heard the news that he is going to die in 7 days. So he's asking all these learned sages, what is my duty? What is the person duty who is about to die? Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport that the whole Bhagavatam, starting from 2nd canto right up to the 12th canto, पूरा जो भागवतम है इसके बाद का, it is the answer of these two questions. What is the duty of everyone? And what is the duty of dying men? The whole Bhagavatam. The first canto is the answer of 6 questions of the sages. Where did dharma took the shelter of after Krishna departed? What is the ultimate good for everyone? So first canto जो sages ने पहले ही question पूछा था उसका आंसर है. And second canto to 12th canto is answer of these two questions of Parikshit Maharaj. All right, what is the learning point for us? Now Parikshit Maharaj is asking the question to sages. What do we learn from them? Parikshit Maharaj is here seeking the guidance. देखो, here he is not thinking, मैं तो राजा हूं, मुझे सब कुछ पता है. I am the king, I know everything, I can do whatever I want. He is not behaving like that. Parikshit Maharaj is exhibiting a very important lesson here for us to learn. Is seeking guidance today will keep Maya away. Seeking guidance today. हमको guidance में रहना है ताकि माया हमसे दूर रहे. Parikshit Maharaj could have acted like this. I am the king. I know everything. And I can do whatever I want. But here Prabhupada writes, Parikshit Maharaj knew what to do. But he's still asking the questions and he just wanted to get the confirmation. उनको पता था क्या करना है, but still he is asking the question with folding hands. हमने देखा है how humbly bowing down and he is asking and speaking. सबको बिठा के he is getting the confirmation. Even though he is a great king, he knows everything, but he is still getting the confirmation कि मैं जो सोच रहा हूँ, मैं जो वो करने जा रहा हूँ, वो सब सही है कि नहीं है. हमने कब पूछा? Reflect on our own life. When did we all make decisions in life and we asked someone with folded hands? And जो मैं सोच रहा हूँ कि हमारी लाइफ ऐसे जिएंगे, मैं ऐसा करूँगा, मैं ऐसे भक्ति में आगे बढ़ूंगा. I am trying to balance my material life and spiritual life. When did we go and ask confirmation to someone? कि प्रभु जी, माता जी, मैं ठीक कर रहा हूँ कि मेरे से this is what I am thinking, is it right or not? This is what Parikshit Maharaj is exhibiting. आप देखना, practically what happens if someone is given a role of something. सबसे पहले, even छोटे से छोटा, we observe, I live near to the temple in Melbourne and प्रसादम, किसी को प्रसादम सर्विंग के लिए बोला कि आपको सिर्फ गुलाब जामुन सर्व करना है सबको. That person turns the mood straight away and the person behaves like a supreme controller of the world. किसको कितना देना है, कहाँ पे देना है, quantity maintain करना है, you will observe, पूरा mindset change हो जाता है. इधर नहीं रखो, इधर रखो, ये करो, वो करो, प्रभु जी एक ही मिलेगा, क्वांटिटी कम है. If really quantity is come, and if the person has been guided by someone, then it's okay. But out of his own whimsical ideas, if a person acts like that, wo hota hai, you observe. Whenever a person, even Bhakti Vriksha, people starts in Melbourne, Bhakti Vriksha, kisi Bhakti Vriksha board committee, they start a Bhakti Vriksha and they think that they are, वो तो ब्रह्मलोक का वो बन गया, अभी वो he has to control the whole planet and forget about taking guidance, folding hands and confirming the ideas. They act on their own. Many times we see devotees, they became the supreme controller as soon as something is given, like they have been appointed as the in charge of them. Abhi Sunday hi, 2 दिन पहले, I was talking to the Bhakti Vriksha board committee, the leader in the Melbourne, and he was saying, some people come, Prabhuji, मुझे Bhakti Vriksha शुरू करना है, and they organize the team, ये cooking करेंगे, ये speaking करेंगे, ये host होगा, and then they organize the poster and they advertise the program and सब लोग आते हैं, and then after that, that's it. The person goes in a different mode. No guidance, no humbleness, no folding hands and taking guidance. अपने आप करेंगे. Parikshit Maharaj is exhibiting a very, very important that we should always seek guidance. Even if we know what we have to do, we can still get the confirmation from the sages, learned people, and express ourselves in a humble attitude so that we can make sure that whatever actions or whatever thoughts we have, they are in the right track. Here, the king is asking, what is my duty? Dekho, Parikshit Maharaj, if you read the translation, what is the duty of a dying man? What is the duty of everyone? Parikshit Maharaj is saying. Agar wo king should have said, nah, thank you very much for coming. I know exactly what I need to do. I don't need your advice. I don't need your guidance. मुझे पता है सब कुछ. राजा है, राज ऋषि है, पांडव डायनास्टी से आता है. आपको पता है मेरे ग्रैंडफादर कौन है? आपको पता है मैं किसका बेटा हूँ? मुझे सब पता है. You don't need to guide me. We have to learn all these things from this Parikshit Maharaj pastime. That if we stay humble, we will avoid the stumble. गिरने के से बचना है तो humble रहना बहुत बहुत जरूरी है. This is very important. So here Parikshit Maharaj pastime is there to take the guidance from the sages, asking the questions. We also learn that हमारे मन में जो भी है, whatever, even if we have strong faith and understanding that we are on the right track, we can still present our ideas in front of our guru, in front of our mentors, our guide or senior devotees in the temple and get confirmation. उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि मंदिर में जो मिला, सी द रॉन्ग एप्लीकेशन ऑफ दिस लर्निंग पॉइंट इज मंदिर में जो मिला हाथ जोड़ के प्रभु जी मुझे ये है, मैं ठीक कर रहा हूँ, प्रभु जी माता जी मैं आई एम प्लानिंग थिंग, आई एम थिंकिंग दिस, इज इट गुड, इज इट राइट, ओके. सबको ऐसा करने का जरूरत नहीं है. One or two, those who know us perfectly, those who know our nature, those who know our circumstances, they are the one who can guide us and they are the ones who can give the confirmation. सबके पास जाने का जरूरत नहीं है, one or two. But ऐसा भी नहीं है कि किसी एक को बोल दिया. सी अनदर रॉन्ग एप्लीकेशन ऑफ दिस वर्स इज, मेरे महाराज ने मुझे भक्ति वृक्षा करने को बोला है, मैं और कुछ सेवा नहीं करूंगा, मैं संकीर्तन में भी नहीं जाऊंगी, मैं बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन भी नहीं करूंगा, मैं मंदिर में प्रसाद भी नहीं सर्व करूंगा, क्योंकि मेरे महाराज ने मुझे सिर्फ भक्ति वृक्षा बोला है. दैट इज रॉन्ग एप्लीकेशन. Maharaj has said this or Guru has given you the instructions of Bhakti Vriksha, लेकिन Guru has not said explicitly और कुछ भी करने की जरूरत नहीं. Whatever is required, Prabhupada said. What does seva means? What does service means? To do what is necessary to do. जिसका जरूरत है भगवान श्री कृष्ण के लिए वो करना, उसका नाम सेवा है. That is service. All right, I will stop here. 25 से हम शुरू करेंगे. I hope you are all getting the learning points and the context of the Bhagavatam. Any questions? Yesterday it was Mataji's day. So many Matajis asked so many questions. Okay, no questions. I hope you are all not sleeping. Thank you so much. Good. We will do. कितना हो गया अभी? 25 से शुरू करना है ना, 25 4 से. Okay. Thank you so much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
everyone.
everyone.
Pranam.
Very much, Prabhuji. Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
everyone.
Dandavat pranam.